Yeah, hello, John.
I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
fantastic. Can hear you. So I'm assuming you've seen the stage title and have something to say in response to it.
Well, I've been on this stage many times to argue as to why, you know, veganism is not a good idea.
Okay, well,
Um,
let us know.
let's be realistic. In the long run, it's not feasible. Okay. The majority of our things that we produce is centered around meat. Okay. It's like trying to change the education system right now in the UK. Okay, it's like you telling 19-year-olds that they have to vote. Um, it's like you saying something drastic uh, to somebody and telling them to do it. It takes time, and you can't eradicate meat like that, in the sense of meat is always going to be there. And so,
Hang on, I'm
as
confused.
long
Sorry,
as
John. Hang on, I'm confused. So 1 minute you're saying it's not feasible, but then you're saying it takes time. Well, we know that it takes time to change minds, but which one is it? You're saying it's impossible, but then you're saying, well, it would take time. So I don't know which one you actually mean.
if you let me finish, I was getting somewhere.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Mm, mm, mm. I was getting somewhere. Where was I going with this? Um, if I can remember my last point, can't even remember my train of thought.
Well, basically, you're saying people will always eat the flesh of animals.
Yeah. As yeah, people will always eat meat. And yes, as I said, it takes time to convince people's minds and things like that. But there will always be that percentage of people who still love meat, and they will influence the wider community to eat meat. So veganism, in the sense of veganism, is kind of pointless because yes, it will take time to convince. It's like, how do I put this in terms of
Well, John, just to just
Hold on a second.
yeah, Catherine, go for it.
Um,
I feel like we're gonna say the same
so
thing.
you could say the same thing about like rape and murder. Like there will always be rapists and murderers. Does that make it right for you to do those things?
doesn't make it right for you to do those things? Rape, no. Murder, depends. It depends on
Well, no,
what
because
the
killing someone, yeah, you
circumstance
could argue
is.
sometimes it's justified,
It
but
Yeah, but
depends.
I'm pretty sure
It
the definition of
depends.
murder
John,
Depends
be
on
John, stop for a
it
second.
depends
John,
on the
John, John. Every time you
circumstance.
talk over Catherine, I literally can't hear a word you're saying. So just let her finish what she was going to say there. So
I'm saying that in the definition of murder, I'm pretty sure it's implied that it's unjust killing. So like it's always wrong to murder someone. It's not always wrong to kill someone because if it's out of self-defense, but that wouldn't be murder. So, but the
But
point
that is
was
murder. But that is murder.
killing
Self-defense.
someone
You're
out of
killing
self.
somebody.
No,
no,
You're
no,
killing
that's
that's not
not.
somebody
It's
out
murder.
of
literally
self-defense.
John. It's literally called then manslaughter. It's not called murder. It's literally a different term.
Man, manslaughter
That's
is
when you
still the same thing as
or like
murder.
if you accidentally kill someone. No, it's not. Yeah, it's the same outcome, but it's not. It's not charged the same. Like
The
It
if you
might
kill
intent
not
is
be.
someone
wildly
It
accidentally,
different.
might.
it's
It
manslaughter.
might not be charged. It might not be charged the same, but it's still the same thing. You've killed
Okay,
somebody in the process.
okay. Well, this
Would
is
you
just a
judge someone the same
semantic.
way?
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, would you judge someone who killed someone out of self-defense in the same way you would judge someone who broke into someone's house at night and slaughtered their family?
Um, Sort of, yes.
What do you mean, sort
As
of?
I said, it depends on the situation and it depends on the circumstance that they were in, which caused them to kill that person.
Yes, okay. So the point is then, John, so what we're asking you, right? So when we're talking about animals, for example, we've put them in a situation where we're exploiting and killing them, okay? So we could avoid doing that. So it's not one of those situations where self-defense or it was an accident. We are purposefully and directly killing and exploiting these animals. So in these instances where people purposefully kill people or exploit other people, even though it is illegal to do so and we deem that wrong, does that justify other people doing it simply because people will always murder, people will always do those things? Is it justified just because other people do it?
Not really, no.
No, exactly.
No.
So that's what we're trying to say. So you saying, well, people will always eat meat doesn't prove anything, like doesn't say anything. Like, therefore what? Just because some people will do something that's harmful to another animal, what are we supposed to extrapolate from that? I don't understand. It's the same line of reasoning for saying, oh, well, people will always murder, so what? What's the point? I don't understand.
My main point is that as long as there's meat lovers there and there's meat people there, they will influence other people. And that influence will grow on other people.
You could say that about murderers. You could say that about people who enjoy murdering and committing crimes against people.
You could also say that about vegans.
Yeah.
The more vegans there are, the more influence we'll have.
Yeah.
But you can't say that about murder. You can't say, murder's a whole different thing though.
Right, so
but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Another person.
It's actually not a different thing. No. It's the same exact thing.
You're killing another person.
Yeah, you're killing another animal.
Yeah, animals deserve personhood status, so that.
And what are humans? Yeah. They're animals, aren't they, John? We're mammals.
I wouldn't classify myself as an animal.
Well, you literally are. We are part of the mammalian subset. We are an animal. Like, even if you don't classify yourself as one, it is the case.
I'm not going to classify myself.
Okay, well, I'm not going to classify myself as a douchebag, but I'm still one. Okay, I'm sorry, that just is the case. You are actually you can't come up here and deny the existence of the fact that you are indeed an animal. That's what a human is. And regardless of whether or not you don't want to accept it, what is the morally relevant difference between humans and other animals that would justify exploiting and killing them, but not human beings?
The difference, and this is where my religion is going to come in, is God created animals, and He created humans for a reason. Humans were looking after the animals, yeah.
Well, now we do anything but look after them. Now we exploit and kill them. But can you show me where God mandated the exploitation and killing of animals? Like, what part of Scripture says that?
Okay, you do kind of have a point, sort of.
And would a good God create animals with pain receptors to be exploited and killed? Like, why would He want us to do that to His creation?
Because He said, if I can remember the scripture, I'm trying to look it up now.
Well, as you're doing that, it's just worth saying that God's ideal world was the Garden of Eden, where animals didn't eat each other and weren't killing each other, and everything was great, and people were eating plants. Like, that was the ideal world. And then, allegedly Eve messed that up, and then He punished by, adding all this other stuff. So I don't understand, like, literally God's ideal world didn't entail the exploitation and killing of animals.
Yeah, it wasn't until after the fall, like when sin entered the world, it's when we started killing animals.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Veganism is not realistic.
How isn't it? People would have said this about literally every other social justice movement that became a normalised part. They would have said this about women's rights. Women will never get the vote. Let's just be real. Women will never be equal. Let's just be real. Like, we will never, like, all these things. Oh, yeah, we'll never, stop people from murdering other people and implement that into law. We'll never have the things that we have. But we do. It's just people just cannot imagine a world that looks different from their own, and they just give up for some strange reason. And it's strange because it's like, well, if they stopped giving up, then we'd get to where we want to go quicker. And I don't know about you, but I want to get to a world where we don't perpetually exploit and kill up to 2.7 trillion animals every single year, because that ain't right, you know?
Well, yes, but just being vegan, the you're not getting anything out of it. Well done,
John,
yay!
why do you have to get something out of doing a good thing in order for you to do it? That doesn't sound very good, John. Like, why do you have to, like, you're just not taking from other individuals? Like, I'm hoping you don't look at other situations and go, I would do it, but what do I get out of it? Like, that ain't good.
Yeah. And also, people like to say that, oh, well, look at the statistics, like meat consumption is on the rise. But that's ignoring the fact that if veganism were not a thing, even more animals would be killed. So, like, the consumption rate would be even higher. So, like, we are doing something. We're sparing animals from torture.
People get tortured, but we as people, we don't often talk about it like that.
Well, we should, like, people being tortured is bad, just for the same reasons that torturing other animals is bad.
But they're animals.
But again, we are animals as well, right? And even if you don't agree with this, like, look at other animals, or animals, and look at the experience that they're having. For all the reasons it is bad to hurt us and kill us and violate us, it's bad for those reasons for them as well, because they are also having an experience. They are also suffering and feeling pain when we hurt them, and they can also experience, well-being and good feelings when we do nice things for them. So for the reasons it's bad to, hurt us and take away our lives, it is for those animals as well. So that's, I don't know why it's difficult to, and why you're, separating the two, when fundamentally the thing that's bad about hurting someone else is also bad for those animals.
I can kind of agree with you there. In the sense of, yes, animals do kind of have a feeling, but as I said, they're animals. They're not. They're like objects in the sense of
How?
they're like objects. Okay, God created them. We control them. Essentially, we do whatever.
Where do we control them? Sorry, can you tell me where we control them? I feel like you're saying.
Okay, pets. Okay.
No. Where in the Bible? Where does it say that we have to control them?
It doesn't specify.
Again, see, so you're appealing to the Bible for what you ought to do, yet nowhere in the Bible does it say these things. This is why it's getting a bit frustrating. Sorry.
Yeah, also, you brought up pets. So my dog is not I don't own him in the sense of, he's not an object. He's my
just like
child.
A child.
I adopted him and I care for him like a child. So I don't own him. I have what's the word?
Guardianship.
Yes, thank you.
You're so welcome. But yeah, people don't own their children. Like, legally, they have like a guardianship over them. So it looks and functions in a similar way from ownership, but it's not the same, because children and other animals, they are individuals. They're not objects. They're not a table. They're not a thing. They are a being.
Yeah. And children, along with animals, the reason we have say over what they do is not because we are better than them and we matter more than them. It's because, like, it's in their best interest. Like, I can't just let my dog outside to run around the streets and get hit by a car. Like, like, everything I do is for his best interest.
Yeah. But you know, you say that you're doing it for the best interest of your dog, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have a symbiotic relationship. Like, I also benefit from having him in my life. It's not that I do everything for him and I get nothing out of it myself, but it is like a mutually beneficial relationship, if that makes sense.
Mm,
Just like children,
sort
you know,
of.
people benefit, you know, they look after their kids and they get joy out of, you know, raising them and you know, sculpting a human into an adult. You know, those are the benefits that, you know, people get from that. And similar with your dog, you get to hang out with them, they're your friend, and, you know, stuff like that.
You could.
But
Yeah,
I don't know.
such
I don't know what this is about. Like controlling them. Like you don't have. It's not necessitated in looking after an individual that you then control them. Obviously, because they have that limited capacity, as Catherine mentioned, you know, we have knowledge of certain things that they don't, that could be harmful to them. So we work in their best interests. Other than that, though, you're not controlling. Like that would, you know, when we're talking about, you know, you're talking about, oh, we control animals, so you're jumping to this aspect where, oh, therefore we can exploit and kill them. Like that's another level of control. That's like, you know, that's completely different from working in someone's best interest and doing something they might not understand or like, you know, just to work in their best interest. It's not in the best interest of an animal to exploit and kill them. You're making that noise like you don't know. You do know that it's it's not in their best interest to exploit and kill them, right?
Honestly, to be honest with you, just being vegan it's not ideal.
Well, you say it's not ideal, but so far every point you've given has been, you know, dealt with.
And now, yeah. I was just waffling for a good couple of minutes whilst I was
Well, you
finishing off
just
my
said it was
research.
too ideal. Like you just said it was
Well,
utopian and that it's never going to happen, but now you're saying it's
No,
not
saying it's
ideal.
not ideal, yeah.
whilst I was finishing off my research, I was just looking on for a bit. Now is the real concrete stuff that is coming to hit your face.
Sorry, on
Vegan
Google.
diet.
Sorry, on Google. What on Google? Sorry, can you put it in stage 1 text? Sorry.
Who me?
Yep, you.
I'm on my phone. I'll put it on there in a moment. Vegan diets, and this is not me. I'm just quoting.
Quoting what? Sorry, sorry. Before you say what are you quoting?
I'm quoting from Bubba.
Sorry, what's Bubba? Because if you're about to talk about diets, and I'm worried you're on a news article or a blog. Right, yeah, you are, aren't you? So before you even do that, John, do you know what the hierarchy of scientific evidence is?
I love the way you said I'm going to talk about diets. Wait.
You just went vegan diet, and you like, I know where you're going with this, John. Like, right, read out the titles to me. Come on, tell me I'm wrong. Now you're gone quiet. It's probably because I was right.
Because of the lack of.
Yeah, see, I knew it. No, John, stop it. I knew it. Right, stage 1 text. Right, cheeky bugger. Look, listen to me. Look, Abe has so kindly put the hierarchy of scientific evidence in. You're pulling my leg. I don't have this. Right. So, look, articles are not even on, well, they've put a different one, but basically the actual hierarchy of scientific evidence doesn't include things like articles and news blogs. So any claim,
unless they're peer reviewed,
yes, or you know, we like cohort studies or randomized control trials, and peer reviewed literature is going to be the most reliable source of evidence because that's a cluster of these data sets that's then reviewed by the top experts.
And we have meta analyses, which is, I think, the highest.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, but the American Dietetic Association, as well as other nutrition bodies, have all, it's like conclusive that a plant-based diet is nutritionally adequate
for all stages of life. All stages.
Yeah. So,
John, come on.
Like give me a specific nutrient that cannot be obtained, that is essential for humans, that cannot be obtained from non-animal sources. So you can't say B12 because we can obtain that from a non-animal source, a vitamin pill or gummy or whatever. You can't say vitamin D because that can be obtained from the sun or a vitamin. So what is it? What is it about meat that we need?
Omega-3.
You can get omega-3s from flaxseed, hemp seeds. Like, what are you talking about? You could also take a supplement, a DHA, algae-based DHA supplement. So what's next?
What's next?
Well, I'm saying next because that one you can obtain from non-animal sources. So you have to find a specific nutrient that's essential for humans that cannot be obtained from plants or vitamins or fungi or the sun. Like,
wait, come in. You said nutrients that can't be obtained from
non-animal sources.
John, even
I mean, you might as well give up and concede the point because you're not going to find one.
You're literally. Well, John. Nah. Hang on, think about it. If there is peer-reviewed literature stating that, you know, being plant-based, as long as adequately planned, is suitable for all stages of life, does that not convey that you don't need, you know, something? You don't need the flesh of animals, because if it's suitable to be plant-based, you know, as long as you well plan it, then like it would convey that you don't need that, because otherwise it wouldn't be suitable. Google ain't gonna help you. Google's only gonna hinder you and confuse you. I'm sorry.
Oh, my brain right now hurts.
It's fine. It happens.
my brain hurts. Oh my gosh. It says that you can't get creatine from
Is that an essential nutrient? And also, you can get creatine as a supplement. My husband has it.
Okay. Google, you're not helping me out.
Google will not help you. Google is your enemy right now.
I can clearly see that. Carol, where is it? It says vitamin D3. You can't get that.
I take vitamin D. I have a supplement, and you can also get vitamin D from the sun. But obviously the sun causes skin cancer, so you probably want to take a supplement for that. Also, a lot of foods are fortified with vitamin D.
With vitamin D, yeah, like cereals in the UK.
I believe your body converts vitamin D2 to vitamin D3. Like, I don't think vitamin D3 specifically is essential. I know vitamin D is essential.
I have these mushroom D tablets. I'm pretty sure they are actually D3, because you can.
Okay. Yeah. You can get synthesized vitamin D3.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm pretty sure they are, if I can remember. But yeah.
It says hemi iron.
Heme iron. Heme iron's not essential.
Not essential.
No.
You said it's not essential. Wow.
Yeah, iron is essential, but heme iron specifically is not essential for humans.
Wow.
John, I'm so sorry, but like, because you don't seem to understand, you know, a lot of these nutritional discussions, like, I don't act shocked when we say that heme iron is not essential. It's absolutely not, because again, the consensus is that a plant-based diet is suitable for all stages of life. So it's not essential that we need heme iron. That's like a different kind of iron. But iron is found in beans, leafy greens. You can find there's iron in a lot of vegetables. It's not something that you need. And in fact, there is some data to suggest that heme iron can be kind of detrimental. Because of the way that it converts, because it's more of a kind of like direct source as far as I can remember. But I'd have to find, if you'd be interested, specifically what I'm referencing. because I know it, but I can't remember. It's in my little study folder somewhere. If you want it.
I don't mind it.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it to you later if you want. I'll just have a
Well,
little.
I have a question for you. So
just before,
why is it?
Sorry, it's been 25 minutes. So if this could be like the last few questions, then that'd be brilliant. Sorry, Catherine.
Yeah. I just want to know why you want it to be true, or why you want so badly for us to be wrong in this sense. Like, why do you want to be right that meat is essential for us?
At no point did I say that I want you to be meat lovers. At no point.
No. I'm just asking, like, why do you want it to be true that meat is essential for you to eat?
Because it's just.
Because that would be a justification, right? But you can't. It's not true, so there is no justification. But you want there to be one so that you can justify your immoral behavior.
But it's not immoral.
Okay, John, we've established, right? You can't. Right, firstly, so let's just summarize, because it's supposed to be about 15 minutes per person. It's been 10 minutes extra. We've established that you don't believe you're actually an animal. Okay, you haven't established the morally relevant difference between humans and other animals that would you justify exploiting and killing them. All you've said is that they're animals. Like, yeah. But that's not it's not inherently you demonstrating, what about them suddenly makes it justified to exploit and kill them. And as well as that, as I said earlier, when we were talking about for the same reasons that it's bad to harm and kill a person, it would be bad for those animals. You said, yeah, I agree. Okay, so you are doing something immoral.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have brought up the diet thing.
No.
Because that's the only justification you have, is if it were essential for you to consume animal products, then you could justify it. But diet is irrelevant.
Yeah. And it sounded like, because when you were talking about all these things, it sounded like you were getting a bit nervous, and then you started Googling for why veganism is wrong, and then you were like, oh, I found something on Google that's going to destroy you. And unfortunately, it was a freaking article, like a blog article. It's just, John, come on. I know that it's a habit that you're used to, but it is the case that these animals, 2.7 trillion, up to every single year, suffer. They had their own lives and they were taken from them. And a lot of the time, they were really harmed by us in the process. Like, wouldn't you just want to not partake in that?
Okay, then there could be ethical ways of doing that.
How can you ethically take away the life of someone who didn't wish to die? You know what? We're not even going to get into that, because we'll be ranting and raving for another 10 minutes, and it's been 30. But John, I'm sorry.
Just something to think about.
Yeah, just something to think about.
Something to think about.
But thank you so much, John. And we'll have to move you to the audience now. But you're very muffled right now. But yeah, thank you very much. I'll move you. Can you think of an ethical way to kill someone who doesn't wish to die, Catherine?
No.
No, I can't really either. I've thought about it a lot.
Yo, how when me eat them, I wonder when me eat. When me tell them say me no eat no fish, no meat now. How when me eat them, I wonder when me yam. When me tell them say that I'm a vegan man. How when me eat them, I wonder when me eat.